Okay, so for so many of you in class 12, it is happening right now. Practical exams are in full swing, and that means one thing, the Viva Voce. That one moment that can make your heart absolutely pound no matter how many hours you've spent studying. But what if I told you the key to acing it isn't just about what you know, but how you show what you know? The secret, it turns out, might be a lot simpler than you think.
Just imagine this for a second. You've got two students, right? Both know their stuff. The examiner asks, so what's the principle of a meter bridge? Student one, let's call them the fidgeter, kind of shrinks, they're looking down, shuffling their feet, and they go, it's based on Wheatstone's bridge, I think, where the resistances are balanced. Now, in walks the topper. Same exact question. They stand tall, make eye contact, and say, the meter bridge operates on the principle of a balanced Wheatstone bridge, where the ratio of two known resistances is equal to the ratio of two unknown resistances. See? Same answer, but they sounded worlds apart. Who do you think walked away with the better score?
Exactly. And that's the whole game right there. The Viva isn't just a pop quiz on your knowledge. It's a performance. It's this unspoken exam of your confidence, and believe me, your body is delivering the opening lines long before you even say a single word. This quote absolutely nails it. Communication experts all agree. From the very second you walk through that door, the examiners are already sizing you up, forming an impression. So your first test, it has nothing to do with physics or chemistry. Mastering these silent signals, well, that's the first real secret to cracking the Viva. But here's the good news. Confidence isn't some kind of magic you're born with. It's a skill. And just like any other skill, you can learn it, you can practice it, and you can project it. So let's break down this code into some really simple, actionable things you can start doing today. Let's start with eye contact, which can be super awkward, right? Here's a brilliant technique from communication experts. It's called the one thought rule. Forget about your eyes nervously darting all over the room. Instead, just pick one examiner, look at them, and deliver a complete thought, just a sentence or two. When you're done with that thought, then you can shift your gaze to someone else. It creates a genuine connection and makes you look unbelievably confident. At the same time, we've got to eliminate those little signals of nervousness that we all do. Pacing around just makes you look unsettled. Crossing your arms to an examiner, that can look defensive, like you're closed off. And touching your face or hair, even if it's just a nervous habit, it can actually be seen as a sign of dishonesty. Each of these little things can slowly chip away at your credibility. So what do you do instead? Well, you replace those nervous habits with powerful ones. Stand tall, with your feet planted firmly on the ground. This makes you look grounded, like you're in control. Use your hands to make open gestures. It shows you're open to the conversation. And honestly, just smile. A real smile is the fastest way to build some rapport and show you're calm and confident. Okay, so you've walked in looking like a pro, your body language is screaming confidence, you're ready. But now, the examiner opens their mouth to ask the first question, what happens next? Now, while Viva questions can feel like they're coming out of left field, there's usually a hidden pattern. You'll find that examiners love to circle back to the core principles, the absolute fundamentals of the experiments you've been doing all year long. They're really just testing your foundational understanding. So with that in mind, let's put you in the hot seat. We're going to do a rapid-fire round of some of the most common, most frequently asked Viva questions from the Class 12 practicals. You ready for this? Let's go. First up, we're stepping into the physics lab. These are those bread and butter questions that seem to pop up year after year after year. First one, state Ohm's law. Okay, the basic definition is right here on the screen. But if you really want to impress them, you add this little detail. And what's crucial is that this means the VI graph for an ohmic conductor is a straight line through the origin, and the slope of that line directly gives you the resistance. See? That little extra bit shows you don't just memorize, you actually understand. Next up, why is the meter bridge wire made of an alloy like manganese? Okay, there are two big reasons you need to know. First, it has a high resistivity, which just means its resistance is big enough to be measured accurately. But second, and this is the key, it has a low temperature coefficient. That means as current flows and the wire heats up, its resistance doesn't really change. That's what gives you stable, reliable result. All right, let's switch labs. We are now in chemistry. Get ready for some of those classic qualitative analysis questions that everyone loves. So the examiner asks, in the test for nitrate ions, what exactly is that brown ring? The textbook answer is the complex nitrosyl ferrous sulfate. But here's the killer detail that makes all the difference. You add, and it's absolutely essential to use a freshly prepared solution of ferrous sulfate because the Fe2 plus ions will quickly oxidize in the air to Fe3 plus, which won't form the ring. Now that is an A+ answer. And another classic, in the chromyl chloride test, what are those reddish-brown fumes? The gas is chromyl chloride, CrO2Cl2. This is one of those double-check questions, you know? They're testing if you actually saw the color correctly in your experiment and if you remember the chemical formula. So be ready with both. Okay, final stop on our tour. We're heading over to the biology lab. Time to put some specimens under the microscope. A huge favorite for spotting is identify the signet ring stage. This is that classic telltale sign of the malaria parasite, Plasmodium, hiding out inside a red blood cell. What happens is a giant vacuole pushes everything else to the side, so it literally looks like a ring with a jewel on it. It is a key diagnostic feature you absolutely have to be able to spot on a slide. And for the DNA isolation experiment, they'll always ask, why do we add chilled ethanol? The principle here is really simple. DNA does not dissolve in cold alcohol, so when you add it, the DNA crashes out of the solution, and you can see it as these fine white threads. And here's the bonus point. The cold temperature also shuts down any DNA enzymes that might be around, which could otherwise literally chew up your DNA sample. So you've mastered your posture, you've brushed up on the fundamentals. We're at the final stage now. It's about combining these two skills to pass this thing with flying colors. So here it is, your Viva success formula. It all starts with projecting confidence because your body language speaks first. It's built on a solid foundation of mastering the fundamentals, not just what happens, but why it happens. And this is so important. Be honest. It is always better to say, I'm not sure about that, than to guess and be wrong. And finally, you have to change your mindset. This is not an interrogation. It's a scientific conversation. This quote from Dr. Galadeli Levidew just sums it up perfectly. The examiners, they want to see how you think. So when they challenge you with a tough question, it's an invitation to engage with them, to explore an idea. It's not a personal attack. You have to embrace it as part of the whole scientific process. Because in the end, that's the real secret of the Viva. It isn't a memory test. It's a performance of how you think. So stand tall, know your stuff, and walk in there ready to have a conversation. The stage is all yours. Good luck.